Hello, Vice City.
What are they keeping at Barrow?
What happened?
What are they keeping inside of that barrel?
I don't know. It could be a lot of things.
Domina.
How are you doing, Cineros?
I am hungry and my face is wind-burned, but at least both of my feet are planted on solid ground now.
Cineros is a great character.
Oh yeah, for sure. One of the best.
I also like when your medic is the old guy.
The old, very buff guy. Under those both.
Former wrestler. Well, but we'll learn more about that. In a few episodes, actually.
Why would Mother send me here of all places?
To save your life, of course. She firmly believes the Vitelli killed your father. Sending you here was the best course of action.
How do you feel about Roman pronunciations? Like the V's being W's, Vitelli, Willis.
Oh, I like it. It's basically just Japanese. But for a different letter.
That's one way of looking at it, yeah.
To tell you the truth, I'm glad to be here. This is a fine place to make a name for myself.
Most great men of Rome have made names for themselves on campaigns like these, it is true. But you are not a man, Domina. Making a name for yourself under these duplicitous circumstances may not be the safest course of action.
What should I do, Cineros?
I would get used to my surroundings and visit the consul as soon as possible. We're here to accomplish something. Time to find out what it is.
Okay, so there's a thing. You see how he had different dialogue because you were a woman? There's multiple ways to feel about that. There's the stupid people who would say, I don't want it to be acknowledged in something that's trying to be historical. If you're trying to be historical, you have to acknowledge it. And then there's the extreme, which is old style, where you would not be able, like certain activities would be, or options would be canceled to you because you're a woman. And personally, I don't like that because it's kind of anti-content if you play the other gender. And then there's this style where they acknowledge it, then just come up for a reason for why you're the exception.
I actually prefer the extreme version. I play a female character and go to Kaiser's Diga in Vegas every time.
Yeah, but see, but that does the same thing though. It acknowledges it, but nothing's cut out to you. You still get to do all the Legion bullshit. That's like what this one does.
Oh, they now let you do the fighting arena. If you're a woman.
Oh, they don't?
They don't.
Now's the confession where I say I've never played New Vegas to completion. I've only ever played the beginning parts. And I can't play it to completion now because I cannot get the game to stop crashing, and I am unwilling to put up with it. I've tried all the fixes too, but it's nothing stops the crashes for me.
But, moving on.
But yeah, I like the style where it's acknowledged, but they just give a reason to hand wave it away. I always get a laugh when it's just they treat you as equals, and the game's trying to be historical. If the game's not trying to be historical, do whatever the hell you want. But if you're trying to be historical, at least acknowledge it.
Agreed. The worst it's ever been was, I believe, a Battlefield game where, on the side of the Germans, you could have a black woman fight for Germany. Wow.
I mean, I don't think they were trying to be historical, but the problem is, I think... Oh, no!
Moving on.
What do you know about the consul?
Dominus Lucius Licinius Lucullus was a close friend of your father's, and a supporter of your mother's efforts. He is now the closest thing you have to a father. You ought to keep this in mind.
How many times do you think the voice actor had to say that shit?
At least 7. Until he got to do it in a straight face.
Dominus Lucius Lucullus Licinius? Or Licinius Lucullus? Oh, jeez, I already forgot his name. Whoops.
Dominus Lucinius Lucullus Lucinius. I have the
Okay,
power of
Licinius.
technology.
Oh, Licinius is his. Yeah. That's his gens. I think. No. Yeah, Licinia is his gens. So Lucullus is at the end, isn't it? Licinius Lucullus. We'll see it shortly.
You're right.
Do you need anything?
Besides a good wine, a warm bath, and a thorough massage? Not much. Thank you. But you should think about yourself, Domina.
I'll talk to you later.
The funniest thing there is when you build the bathhouse for your camp later on during the camp management section, and you assign a Praetorian to be the permanent masseuse.
I mean, that's still an actual promotion. You're out of the front line.
I mean, you get to live, but you get the spoils of war by being in the front line is the problem. That's how legions were paid. Well, legions were just paid from the spoils of war. So I guess any job, sure, why not?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he just really likes massaging the bed.
Maybe.
You are Bestia Tabet, right? I am Valeria Den.
True to Kaiser.
I am called Bestia Tabat indeed. You fight well. I noticed it. I took the
Doesn't
spear
Bestia-
from the traitorous Triarchus. You should have it.
Doesn't Bestia just mean beast?
It does.
May I ask you a few questions?
You may ask, and I may answer or not.
So I will have to find out. His portrait is flip, and that annoys me. See the armor.
The scar too. Depending on what side of the screen he's on, and the scar changes because they just mirror the portrait.
Also, his in-game model really reminds me of Seth C-Top.
I'm sorry, of who?
Seth C-Top. It's a channel.
Oh, Seth Zinch. Yeah.
Your name is quite unusual. Is Bestia your family name?
Your name is unusual. Tabat is the name that was given to me by my father. Bestia is the name I took when I earned my freedom. I chose it because I have fought and defeated many beasts.
Where are you from?
I was born in Mauritania, but I am a Roman citizen.
Have you ever fought in a war before?
Until I undertook this voyage, I fought every single day in the arena. But wars? This will be my first.
You were a gladiator. You must know much of combat. Any advice to give?
I recommend you to not die. Honor matters little. He who stands tall in the end will always be the winner.
And he interesting gladiator facts.
There were different types of gladiators. Like I can't remember the names for them all. I'll have to look them up. But basically, it was what they fought with. Like the one who fought with a trident and a net has a specific name. The ones who fought with the shield and the sword, and they all. Gladiators are more like wrestlers today. Professional wrestlers.
Well, during the Attitude Era, sure.
Yeah, I mean, and then sometimes the results were fatal.
Yeah, that just means it was just a video at the time.
But yeah, there's the different types of gladiators, which is determined, how they were, how they fought usually, and then the armor they would wear, and also gladiators had wives and stuff.
Oh yeah, a lot of them weren't based. No more, they were just big superstars. I wanted to do it.
Well, I mean, Commodus, although it's highly fictionalized, in Gladiator the movie, but Commodus did actually go into the arena and put on his little shows too, where like no one was going to kill the emperor in the arena, and so he would go on and put on the show of I'm fighting, blah blah blah, but it's like no one was. It wasn't really a fight. It was a show to show Romans how strong Commodus was weird because he comes after the 5 good emperors, which Marcus Aurelius was the 5th good emperor, and essentially what happened is they all chose a couple of them were gay. I think Hadrian and Trajan were very likely gay, so they didn't have blood children. Like they had marriages with people they hated, and so they Nerva adopts Trajan, who adopts Hadrian, who adopts, I think, Antoninus Pius, who adopts Lucius Verus and Marcus Aurelius. And then Marcus Aurelius fucked it up by letting Commodus, his blood son, take over. And so that's kind of leads to the crisis of the 3rd century.
So what you're saying is, Rome at Triple H was not allowed to kill this that I have on live TV.
Yes. Yeah. But a cool fact about the arena, they did flood it occasionally to do mock sea battles.
Further, but to get to do that in a bottom one.
Kind of. Yeah, you get to kind of do it in this one.
What can you tell me about the commanders here?
They say Lucullus has the greatest military mind in Rome. I only know he is consul and imperator, but I don't understand what that means.
How have you lived in Rome without knowing what those titles mean?
This is my first time seeing a senator outside of the spectator stands.
Consul means he is one of the 2 men elected to rule all of Rome this year.
Ah, like a king, but temporary.
We Romans do not like the word king.
Free of the tyranny of kings, perhaps Romans prefer other kinds of tyranny.
You did not like the Triarchus, did you? He did smell like
The
sea
punishment
water.
for treachery should be death. That is how I grew up, and how I became the greatest gladiator Rome has ever known. All of the lesser ones died.
See you on the field of battle.
I agree, traitors should just be stabbed to death on the spot.
Romans had some fun punishments. Like, you might need to censor that word for YouTube. But had their balls crushed between 2 rocks.
Bro, people would hate to have the done to them these days.
no, it wasn't like, okay, you get to keep them. It was like obliterated.
I did again. People will pay good money to have it done to them.
And then decimation, obviously.
Which is a word that has lost its meaning in modern vernacular.
It's changed its meaning, but yeah.
How long are they going to keep us here?
It's driving me crazy too. I came here to kick Mithridates' ass, not to sit on the beach day in and day out waiting for something to happen.
Okay, so a fun thing, Lucullus doesn't actually complete this war. He's relieved of command and Pompey is put in charge. And so Pompey actually, Gnaeus Pompeius Magnus actually ends up finishing the war and beating Mithridates. No, what's really funny about the Third Mithridatic War is somehow, you know where Pontus is, right? It's on the northern part of Anatolia over there.
Yeah, the south of the
Is
Middle Sea.
somehow, as a result of the Third Mithridatic War, Judea became a client state of Rome.
But that's miles away. Ow.
I don't remember, but I just remember that fact.
But did real life work on total war rules at the time?
No, well, I mean, maybe I'd have to look at Pontus's territory again, but maybe Pontus actually controlled that.
Also, this is the perfect chance to ask. Explain how the spies really are.
There were African Roman citizens. See, okay, here's the thing. The Africans that Romans had were probably all fairer skinned because the northern Berbers and stuff were kind of fair skinned along the northern coast because the northern Berbers had merged with Phoenician population. But Rome was close enough to Africa that you could feasibly have had dark-skinned African Roman soldiers.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Imagine when people get really confused that Egyptians aren't all that dark. They'll get to that at some point.
See, and the purple these guys are using, purple becomes the color of
Victoria.
well, Imperials. It becomes the Imperial color. The dye made for the purple comes from a sea snail. And to get it, you need to put all these snails in a vat and ferment it.
Which smells
to get the
awful.
dye. Which smells awful. So they actually made a town specifically for this purpose. Rome did.
It was a very ancient form of radiationness.
No, it must. I mean, I imagine living there, you must at some point get used to the smell. But like that town was miles and miles from any other town.
To me, it sounds like your SSL guys. It's not like
that's possible. It's like how miners like really spicy food because working in the mines kind of kills certain senses. The old time miners. I don't know about modern ones, but old time.
speaking of for the sun, don't try. Guys, you're on the path to the commander's death. Are you sure you just wanna hang your balls out like this?
That's a Roman pastime, just sunning your balls.
Oh, carry on then. You're probably devoted too.
There he is.
This is not
the
going
man.
to work, as long as the rebels keep receiving supplies by sea.
We will need to cut their supply lines. It's an operation for our occulta speculatores.
Occultus speculators.
Straight to business. You are your father's daughter indeed. Very well. Let us skip the greetings. The occulta speculatores are, shall we say, a special cohort assembled for particularly daring undertakings. And you will have to prove yourself as part of it.
Okay, get this for me. Was this a real thing? Did the Romans really have special forces?
No, they had like occultus, but they were generally like the cults dedicated to the gods. They did not have special forces.
Okay, that's something that New Vegas actually led me to believe.
Well, they were like I forget which legion it was, but they called them to Israel, which was Judea at the time, specifically to assault Barabbas, who was the other guy that they were going to crucify, or that they offered to let go when Pontius Pilate goes, "Are we going to let go of Jesus, or are we going to let go of Barabbas?" But Barabbas ended up leading a military revolt against the Romans. And that's when they occupy the fort over there. And they have, I think it was the 10th Legion comes down to siege it. And they ended up just digging sand to build a ramp up to the wall of the fort so they could bring their siege engines to it. And by the time they finished, the people inside had starved.
Were they like
And,
really shitty at building it, or did they not have that much food in there?
well, I mean, probably a little bit of both, but they're not shitty at building it. Like, the fort was on a mountain, on a large hill. So they had to dig sand and build a ramp of the sand and the rocks and stuff up the hill to the wall from the side. In fact, the change in geography is still there today.
Oh, that's cool. A battle took place and something actually got built, rather than exploded. That's fair.
I was told there would be no fighting. Is it even permitted for women to fight?
Who told you that? Listen. Claudiana is protective as a mother should be, but I know how your father raised you. You will not be best served by wandering this camp aimlessly for the duration of my campaign. Your skills make you far too valuable an asset to waste like that.
Feels like what? All I know how to do is make a sandwich.
Hey, that's a valuable skill in Rome.
Gladly. The chance to prove myself is what I've come here for.
There will be ample opportunities for that, my young ward. A trial by fire is what you need. Now pay attention. we've been in a deadlock here on Lesbos for some time now. My co-consul, Marcus Aurelius Cotta, is engaged against King Mithridates of Pontus, in the east. Mithridates is using the pirates of Lesbos as his navy.
The fortress of Mytilene here is well protected, but it also has a weakness. There's a mountain pass we can utilize. I will lead the assault myself.
I volunteer for the vanguard. If my uncle can defeat Pontus, I can surely handle Mytilene.
So be it, then. Meanwhile, you will prove yourself as a leader, my young ward. Take Caeso Quintius Acollinus, your Servus Cineros, and that gladiator who came with you on the ship. You will meet up with Iulius Calidus of my legion Speculatores. Your mission is to sneak into the harbor and destroy the enemy's ships any way you can. I expect you have questions. You have nothing to fear from Iulius Calidus. I know him well. You can trust him.
That sounds like a very masculine name, Iulius Calidus.
Oh yeah, extremely masculine. As the boss.
That's called foreshadowing.
Why can I not take part in the main assault like Gaius?
If you are fast, you may yet play a part in that. But for the assault to succeed, you must do this first.
No more questions.
Wait. Are those your father's old weapons? I'm sure they mean a lot to you, but look. The leather is brittle. This won't do. Visit my smith, Sextus, and get yourself properly equipped before you go.
Solway.
You're an interesting man, Gaius. Though your haircut leaves much to be desired.
Interesting. I shall accept this as a compliment, but prepare to be disappointed. To the extent of my knowledge and ability, I shall try to be as helpful as I can.
The first time I've traveled so far from Rome.
Indeed. Staying in Rome became, shall we say, politically disadvantageous to me. That's why I left it. Like you, I've never been to Lesbos before. I did my homework, though, in case you have any questions.
So what do you know about this island?
Lesbos is one of the most important islands on this sea. Some cartographers call it the Horse Island, on account of its shape.
Oh, okay. After you ask him the pirate question, I do have something to talk about.
Wait, please, his face not for best resource forces. Although, is it both? I hope not.
No, I don't. I don't have a response to that, frankly.
Why are the pirates here?
Location, I would guess. The island has countless coves and natural harbors for pirate ships to hide in. Not to mention the massive fortress in Mytilene.
Okay, so pirates. I think the opening is a reference to... Caesar was kidnapped by pirates when he was 25 years old. He was going to study in Rhodes. And these Greek pirates kidnapped him. And Caesar was apparently so charismatic that he talked himself out of his chains. Now, remember that a lot of this account comes from Caesar's writings himself, and Caesar liked to romanticize his life quite a bit.
A lot of fan fiction in his autobiography.
But he said that he was important and they should send, asking for ransom back to Rome. And when they showed how much they were going to ask for ransom, he said, no, you should ask for 3 times that. And so the guy goes and they send it, and he's laughing with them about how when he gets free, he's going to come back and crucify them. And they're laughing with him because he's some punk 25-year-old kid who cares what he's said. Like, these are all old, probably older pirates, right? And then he proceeded to, when he got free, round up troops and come back and capture the pirates and crucify them.
Please, that's what you should do whenever you get kidnapped. Revenge.
Caesar was very good at revenge, but it wasn't always violent. Caesar's revenge. He was very smart politically. He used forgiveness as a weapon. Pompey was a very dangerous general. It's a dangerous rival of Caesar. He wept when he heard Pompey die because yeah, he was close to him at one point. But Caesar was also furious because he wanted to forgive Pompey to show the citizens of Rome, look how magnanimous I am. I forgave my worst enemy.
He was actually a good general and kept Rome standing. He was useful. Thick or not.
Yeah, well, he had good leaders under him. Like Mark Antony is one of those guys who was a better second in command.
Our army is vastly superior to these Greeks, and their delicious chicken wraps.
Be that as it may, their position here is superior. Mytilene is right next to the sea, and their fleet brings them supplies constantly. It's a stalemate.
There's something else I wanted to ask you about.
Of course.
This war camp looks like a town itself.
Fascinating, isn't it? The Legion can build a fortified camp like this almost overnight. In my opinion, that is the foundation of Rome's military might.
Genuinely is. It was their logistics. Rome's logistics were what made them a force to be reckoned with.
Oh yeah, one of the cool historical highlights for Rome is when we're building shit right before or during a battle. Like, they were basically playing a RTS from the 90s, where you build a base as you're fighting.
Well, if you look at where they got messed up too, it was places where their logistics didn't matter.
The
You know,
desert.
like super far north in Scotland. Yeah, the desert, too far east.
Let's talk later, Gaius.
Wait. Listen, you seem trustworthy. I may have need for your help on a rather sensitive matter.
That depends on what kind of sensitive matter we're talking about.
Your caution is well placed, but the sensitivity of the matter is rather personal in nature. I have tried pursuing a solution myself, but to no avail.
Tell me of how I can be of assistance.
I've been keeping a detailed account of our journey ever since we left port. Shortly after our arrival, however, the journal went missing. I believe it to be stolen by one of the Centuriones.
Why don't you just walk up to him and beat him up?
That I have already tried. He threatened me in a way. He said if I continue bothering him, he would read the contents of my journal publicly.
Oh, does the journal contain cringe?
That's all your problem if you wrote cringe in it.
Well, I've got some news for you.
I can stand by my decisions, and I'm proud of my actions. It's just that I don't want some donkey-headed brute reciting them in public.
Very well. Tell me what I can do for you.
The Centurio is called Agrippa, I think. He hangs out with his friends near the tent over there. I thought perhaps you could convince him to hand over my journal. Needless to say, I would like to keep the contents of the journal private. I would appreciate if you'd refrain from reading it.
But I have to ask, are there like historical outlets or stone carvings that all say Caesar was a bitch?
The Romans didn't really carve in stone too much.
Anyway, the point is, why is Caesar here a fanboy?
Artistic liberties mostly. I mean, he was a playboy like later in life, so it stands to reason that he must have at least been considered, attractive as a younger man.
They wouldn't exactly call it Chad style attractive.
Okay, but it was a lot more liberal sexually in the Roman era, where like men would sleep with both men and women, and it wasn't considered homosexual to do so, and so femboys were considered attractive by Roman standards.
All I know about how the robots handle their fight bot is so long as you're not a bottom is fine.
Yes, being a bottom was where the problem came in. Yes.
Because it's unfortunate because there's always at least one.
Well, that's why they wouldn't go after you when your opponent's trying to slander you. They wouldn't slander you for sleeping with men. They would slander you for receiving.
Case.
Saw Agrippa harassing that old Serwis with the limp again.
That small-dicked bully. Did you tell the Praefectus?
He won't do anything about it. Agrippa is connected back home.
One day that man is going to fall out of a watchtower to his death. It'll be tragic.
Don't joke about that kind of thing.
So there's a fun thing. You know, Roman first names were abbreviated in a lot of the texts that we have. So like Aulus would be abbreviated with an A when they're just writing the first initial. And so Gaius for Gaius Julius Caesar is actually a C. And there is no abbreviation for G.
How the hell does that work?
Because G was added to the Roman alphabet later, so the archaic spelling of Gaius and Gnaeus is Caius and then Cnaeus, but it was never pronounced that way. It was always pronounced Gaius. It was just spelled with a C. So Gaius is C, and guess what queso abbreviation is?
Queso?
It's K.
Feel like you're terribly Starbucks. Evil. You're in front row. That's for how to spell things.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
We're in the middle of something, Domina. What do you want?
I believe you're in possession of someone's private property. I'm here to retrieve it.
This? Well, this is priceless. A journal written by Cotter's stupid nephew, who thinks of himself as the greatest commander history has ever seen.
He also happens to very strong item for a quest reward.
Why don't you send him back here to beg for it again?
I can smack your face with a sack of money.
Oh, it's Logos. Logos gets the special option here where you don't have to pay for it.
True. But I'm our mechanical spoiler. Body. Is nothing in this game. We'll see why later.
Oh yeah, if you know what you're doing, yeah.
Oh yeah, sure, big fast favor, yeah.
Hey, no, that's not right.
For this worthless drivel? Now that's a bargain. Take it.
Sextus. Oh wait.
What are you doing walking around with weapons like that, girl?
Actually, after. When you go to equip, we gotta read what the Triarchy Spear does. I forgot.
The consul said you had equipment for me.
Well, if he said it, I guess I'm obliged to make it true. Help yourself to any of the gear on the racks. Take all of it if you need it.
Okay, so this is a random tangent, but the economy for crafting this actually makes sense. Unlike an XCOM. Like, my guy, the world is ending. Why do I need to pay you $50 to make this article? I need it fucking now.
Yeah, no, and I was actually going to talk about how blacksmiths are always the cool guys in games.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, he may be a blacksmith, but he can murder a whole lot of people with that hammer.
Except for the green one in Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, that one best. Who's that
Leningrad. Not Leningrad. Hey, what's his name?
Adventure Time. He's not Lenin. Comrade.
What? What's his name? Why did I think Leningrad? That's a fucking city. Alright, let's see you in armor instead of a toga. Oh, what does it do? The Triarchus Spear?
Ironically, I'm showing a lot more skin in battle here.
Yeah, you are. Also, I never noticed the knee textures. Can you highlight the Triarchus Spear, please? The spear formerly belonged to Geminus, has been sun bleached and salt weathered in irregular patterns, but remain balanced, and its simple spearhead is still very pointy. All attacks apply harried, which inflicts -10 morale and -25%. Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's good early on, but later on when we are quite ill, everyone. That doesn't really matter.
Why? I'm just a friendly, I'm a silly little guy.